This evening, I have the absolute pleasure of evaluating Jerome Kimani's speech. The purpose of his speech is for the speaker to use stance, body movement, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact that illustrates and enhances his verbal message. Jerome Kimani, How I Thawed Myself. How I Thawed Myself, Jerome Kimani.
When I was 14 years old, my parents and their friends tried to get me inside a nightclub. My distinguished evaluator, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is a true story. It was December of 2012, and we were on holiday in Nakuru with a group of families. All of a sudden, the parents got hit by the spirit of benevolence and curiosity, and they decided, let's take these kids to a nightclub. Okay. Stopped outside Rafiki's club, which is it's smack in the middle of Nakuru town. And we got there and the atmosphere was electric. Music was dialed up. I walked in and saw the lights flashing and the shadows of people dancing, and I was psyched. I was so psyched. So we got out of the cars. We separated into the different factions, as tends to happen, guys and the girls. The girls huddled around with my mom and they were like, okay, girls, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get in there, rules of engagement, blah, blah. Let's have fun. Let's go. They lined up in single file, 18 years old, and the youngest was 12. But I watched as all of them just strutted into the club like they owned the place, and nobody even stopped them. Up next was my brother and his best friend, who was 16 at the time, the bouncer to let them in. And I was next. And I walked up and I looked up at the bouncer and I crumbled. Man, I was looking, this is not a man, this was a tree. He was a tree. And just to put it into perspective, I'm 5'4" on a good day. And that was before high school. That was before my growth spurt. If you go to my chart on the wall in the house, it shows that I was probably this tall. This tall. So imagine a boy who's this tall looking up at a bouncer and he's basically dwarfing me. He's twice my size in length, in width, and also in height. The man just stood there resolutely, didn't even look down at me, just grunted and said, he's not entering. Needless to say, I didn't enter. And that was the first time that happened to me. And in normal parlance, that is called being frozen. I was frozen for the first time at age 14. Now, I'd like you to take a pause and paint a picture, right? How did I look in that moment? I was a picture of demure shyness. In the animal kingdom, you'd have thought that I'm something akin to prey, and he was a predator. My shoulders were hunched over. I looked away everywhere but him. I didn't dare face him. I didn't dare give him any eye contact. I looked like I was just about to bolt and run away for my life. And I was fidgeting and I was desperately searching for any source of support in any of the adults around me. Now that has been frozen in time up until I became an adult, because the same thing would happen as an 18-year-old going to clubs. The 14-year-old boy would just come out and I'd just be uneasy. I feel like I don't belong there. I'm like, okay, fine. Where's my ID? Do I have my ID in case he asks for it? Look, there my friends are entering. Can I enter with them? Please don't stop me. Oh gosh. 90% of the time I got frozen again and again and again. 90% of the time. And that was just the same thing. The same narrative that went over and over again. But guys, I'd like to tell you how that whole story changed. It changed with 2 words. Now, of how I learned to stop getting frozen, how I unfroze myself, how I thawed myself. I hope you see what I did there. So, yes, December. This is August of 2018. We are at another party, and it's of the same family friends from the 2012 debacle. And now, instead of the parents taking us out, the young guys are adults now. So we're trying to plot how we can get ourselves out and go out and have a night out at a nightclub. So one of my brother's friends asked me, Jerome, are you going out with these guys? And the prey in me just talks and says, no, guys, I'm gonna get frozen. I'm short of life. I'm just can't. And he's like, wait, hold up. What do you mean? What do you mean you get frozen? First of all, look at you. Look at how you're dressed, bro. I mean, you look so fresh. And actually, to be honest, I was wearing a crisp white shirt, jacket, a suit jacket, some dress pants and brogues. So I actually looked pretty decent. He's like, you know what? In fact, do exactly as I tell you and you never get frozen again. And he went ahead to say 2 words and give me basically a demonstration of something that became the basis of my confidence, my self-confidence as an adult. So I said, today night, I'm going to try this. Stopped outside Bahama Breeze and is again dialed up to 100. Music is there, boots, now it's my turn. I walk up to the bouncer and I do exactly as I was told. I have my back straight, my chin up, looking straight ahead, put my arms at 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and I say, Summer boss. And I expect, the prayer in my mind is like, he's gonna stop me or he's going to tell me wapi ID or something. And you know what he did? He just frisked me and said, Karibu, ingia. I walked in and I froze now. Not because I was frozen, but because I was bewildered. You mean it was that easy? All this time what? No. That was love. 3 different clubs. All of them, clean bill of health, same story. It all confirmed the hypothesis that I had learned how to thaw myself, how to stop getting frozen. Now, get yourselves in this situation where you're in front of, you have to get somewhere, and there's an obstacle in front of you, basically a gatekeeper. And you just get to that moment and you freeze, whether it's an interview, a date, an exam, or a speech like this. What I'd like to tell you, the key to getting unfrozen, the key to thawing yourself is just fixing your body language. You know where you're going, you know where you want to be. Open up your body language. You're you have nothing to hide. Then watch. Just watch as doors are open for you. Watch as people's voices lower to an apex predator within a matter of minutes. It all starts with the body language, then it goes to the mind. That's how it feeds itself. If you've heard of the power pose, do that. And of course, something very important, always dress smart. Always just get there and be the most dapper person in the room, because you're going to use that and get into rooms that other people who are more deserving actually get into. So to conclude, that's where the trick is. That's where my self-confidence came from. But please take this with a pinch of salt, because I don't want some of you going for interviews looking like you want to hug people and saying, "Sema boss," and then that's rude, by the way. And then you don't get the job and blame me. But you get the point. Back to you.